Hello everyone. In this small video, we are going to discuss about what is the difference between JavaScript's undefined and null. Okay, so this is a very basic doubts which I have seen among most of the beginner level candidates. Okay, so for understanding it, we need to first understand how the memory space initialization works. So let us say if you have a variable I which has a value 100 in it. So in reality, how it happens is a memory space is taken where 100 is stored. Let us say the address of that memory space denoted in hexadecimal is 0x1257. So the variable I doesn't actually store 100 in it. Instead, in the reality or in the actual, what happens is I points to the memory address which is containing 100 as a value. So this is how actually it stores. So in case of null, let us say I define where j is equal to null. So what happens is there will be a j and it is pointing to an address. It is pointing to an address which is containing nothing, which is empty. This memory address is containing nothing. So this is the actual meaning of null, that the variable is pointing to a memory space or an address which is containing nothing. Okay. If I define where k is equal to undefined, please note undefined is one of the keyword in JavaScript, and undefined is not actually there in many of the other programming languages like Java or C++ or C. Okay, so in JavaScript, k is equal to undefined. It means that k is a variable and it is pointing to nothing. There is no memory space or no address associated with the k, no memory allocated for the k. So this is the basic difference between null and undefined. Okay, I'm repeating it again just for the clarity of the audience. J is equal to null. It means that j is pointing to an address which is containing nothing, which is empty. And k is equal to undefined. It means that k is pointing to nothing, like k is basically associated with none of the address. Okay, so let us understand it a little better with the demonstration. So the first thing is, we have seen the definition that null is, it means basically intentional absence of the value. It means it is pointing to a memory space, but there is no value allocated to that memory space. Whereas the undefined is basically that value doesn't exist in program's memory. There is no address associated with this variable, and compiler is unaware of the variable. So if you will just say where k is equal to undefined, and again you try to print k, it will say that, okay, k is undefined. I cannot find k. K is not in our program's memory. Compiler is not able to recognize what is k. The second difference we can see is what is the type of null and undefined. So as we have seen that in case of null, a memory space is allocated, but there is no value, but still a memory space is allocated, right? So it is a type of object. Object is a kind of, we can say, superset of other data types like int or character or a string or those arrays and all. So if we will just check what is the type of null, it will say object. In the same way, what is the type of undefined? It will say undefined, because obviously it is undefined. Okay, it is not of type object or any other data type. So also, if you just see in terms of double equal sign, so basically double equal sign means equality operator, and triple equal sign means deep equal. So in equality operator, what it compares is the value of the left operand and the right operand. And in the triple equal sign or the deep equal operator, it actually checks that not only the value but also the type should be equal. So if the left operand is there and I'm checking triple equal sign with the right operand, it will check that both the left operand and the right operand should have same value or equal value. Also the type of the data type of left operator and the right operator should also be the equal or same. Then only this will eventually evaluate to true, otherwise false. We will just see in a moment in a JavaScript console. Okay. Also, if you will add null to a number, okay, let us say if you will use 2 plus null, it will still give you 2 because null is an empty value. Okay. But if you will add 2 plus undefined, it will give you undefined. Why? Because you are trying to add 2 with something which doesn't exist. So the answer will also be undefined. Let us see this in case of like working in a JavaScript console. So the first thing what we will see is a typeof. Typeof, if I say null, it will be an object. Okay. Similarly, typeof. So if I'll do undefined, it will be undefined. Okay. Let us say if I do typeof 2, it is a number. Typeof, let us say, oh, hello, it is a string. So typeof is an operator which gives us the data type or the type of the data which you are passing as an argument. Let us compare the double equal and triple equal sign. So if let us say I'd say where I is equal to 2 and where j is equal to 2 again. And if I do I equal to j, it will say yes. But if let us say I say where k is equal to 100, and if now I do if I equal to k, it will say obviously false. Okay, so let us say if I do null equal to undefined, so what it will do, it will say true. Why? Because the value in null and the undefined is same or equal, that is empty. But if I'll do null triple equal to undefined, so it will not only check the value but also it will check the type of the null and the undefined. So as we have seen, the type of null is null. Type of null is object and type of undefined is undefined. So they are not same. That is why we will get false. Okay. In the same way, if I'll do 10 or 1 plus null, it will give me 1 because null is an empty value. But if I'll give 1 plus undefined, it will give me not a number. It means if I'm trying to add 1 with something which doesn't exist, which compiler is not able to find what it is. So the result I will get is obviously something which is not a number. Okay, so nan means not a number. There is also a function called is nan. So with this, you can find whether this argument is number or not. So if let us say I do is nan 1, so it will check whether 1 is number or not. So obviously false. If I'll do null, so null is a false, obviously, right? So this is how we can understand the difference between null and undefined. So I hope it is now clear to you, and maybe you can answer this more confidently and in a much clearer way if somebody asks you. So thank you for watching it. And if you like this video, stay tuned with upcoming such videos, and please subscribe. Thank you.